Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
And welcome, friends. Welcome to another exciting edition of Treasure Talk.
It is indeed. It's going to be a different one tonight.
Yes, it is. And we're going to talk about a pulse induction, one of the only ones, I guess, for beach hunting as of right now that's on the market, because Garrett's is gone. They used to have the C100 Mark II and had White's dual field, and you had some other detectors, but I think it's the last one of the PIs, but it's going to be a cool one to talk about for sure.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, is it hot up there in Georgia?
Yeah. Right now it's still 99.
Well, it's hot here too. It's been really hot, and I can hear the thunder booming coming this way. So if I get knocked off the show, that's why. But I got battery backups on my router, on my computers, and everything. So hopefully we won't get knocked off unless the internet goes out.
Well, that will happen even on a sunny day.
Yes, it could. Yeah, well, it's starting to rain, so we're at 89 now, but it's been very hot. So with that said, I guess we better do the housekeeping real quick.
Yep, do the housekeeping, then we'll talk specials.
Okay. As always, today's show is brought to you by your friends here at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. All that stuff behind me, for sure. And the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed here by the Treasure Talk guests and members belong solely to the guest and member and not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, Myers Metal Detectors, or Jeff Marnett. And of course, the purpose of Treasure Talk is to promote the hobby of metal detecting and treasure hunting in all forms, and to educate our members in a fun, informative manner. And that's exactly what we're going to do.
Yeah, I bet you it was even too hot to be hunting in the Gulf of America today.
It probably is, unless I guess if you're under the water's a little bit cooler than the air temperature.
Yeah, not much. It's still in the 90s.
Yes, for sure. And James Havoc says it's brutally hot hunting today on the Treasure Coast. Yes, I can imagine it was. Because especially if you're not in the water, at least you could get in the water and cool down maybe a little bit. But it's tough. It's tough to do for sure. Now this shower will come to cool things down. But back to the specials. And there's one thing I wanted to talk about, the Fisher Impulse AQ. I don't have that in stock, but if you want that, just give me a ring. We can do a deal and get that one to you if you so want a pulse detector, because like I said, there's no other pulses out there right now. I think Naka may be coming out with one, but it's not.
They are.
But it's not out yet, and I don't know if it's going to be this type of pulse. So
that I don't know. We're going to find out the 25th.
Yes, so we'll. So if you want the Impulse AQ, we can certainly get it for you. Russ sent me all the information on it. I believe they're right at $19.99, if I'm not mistaken, and we can take care of that. And of course, we have the Mind Lab products on special. If you guys want to, just call me. I don't want to. We've got two guests on here with us tonight. And Clive has put out a bunch of books, so I don't want to talk too long on the specials, Jeff, but we do have the Legend, the Triple Score, all the Naka products. We've got those on special too, so let me just leave it at that, and we'll continue with the show.
All righty. So we've got two guests tonight. Both have been testers and users of the Fisher Impulse AQ. Now, if you will remember, a couple, 3 years ago, when Fisher first came out with it, we were talking about it. Russ Balberona from Fisher was on the show talking about it, and they were supposed to be coming out with it any day now. Well, it took them a little longer, and from what I understand, and we're going to find out the straight skinny on it tonight, because these two guys have been using it and testing it and communicating with Fisher products on this. That it's out now. You can purchase it in the final version. So we're going to find out exactly everything we can about it from these two guys. And trust me, if these two guys don't know it, it ain't knowable. So let's bring on first a very good friend, Joe Old Beachnut from the Chesapeake Bay. Let me find where he's at here. And here he is. There's Joe Beachnut. And now let's bring on from the sunny climes of Canada, Mr. Clive Plenty. Hey guys,
Clive.
how's it going?
Welcome, guys.
Great to see everyone.
All right, so let's talk the Fisher AQ Impulse, and let me hear if it's the deepest detector you own.
Clive, you go first, buddy.
Well,
I'll follow.
It's the deepest working detector I own. I have a TDI Pro that's on a par with it, but I'm having some problems with that. So I would call it the deepest detector I own. You know, there's some people are saying that the Manticore rivals it with the big coil. I'm hard pressed to demonstrate that at this point, particularly in that you're never going to get the same depth in black sand or any difficult conditions with a VLF as you are with a pulse. So yes, it is a very deep detector.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, I just tested a Manticore 9-inch against the AQ and Excalibur, and the Manticore was very surprising on the wet and dry sand. It would get a nickel at 16 inches deep.
Yeah,
Deep.
I,
But the problem is, once you got in the water, you had to turn the sensitivity way down to like 18, and it lost all that.
right, and I think I saw you have a video with the AQ, and
Yes.
it was hitting a nickel at I think 19 inches.
Yeah, the AQ had no problem in the wet, dry sand or in the water hitting that deep. The water
Okay.
doesn't. I have brackish water here, so it doesn't slow the AQ down.
It doesn't slow you down either. See?
I've got-
Look at all this stuff. And that's
Well, that-
old gold there, folks.
That's about a year's worth.
Nice.
No wonder he's retired. As much gold as he finds, $3,000 an ounce or whatever.
Actually, I did better years ago.
Mm.
But are you going now over the same beaches that you went to before?
Oh yeah. The beaches change constantly. So the whole idea for me, since the beach has been closed about 60 years, I have to find where they opens up at. And once I find the area where I'm finding silver and everything, I'll go with Excalibur, find where the hot spots are, and then I'll go back with the AQ and just dig deep targets. And most of them are gold,
Okay, cool. I wonder if the AQ would be a good detector for the guys to use over on the East Coast, on the Treasure.
You know what? I would not recommend to buy the AQ because of the battery issue. It only runs for 3 hours and 3 hours and a half at the most, So then they do make a larger battery. I think Clive bought one.
Well, I was the beta tester for one of the two accessory batteries. There's the lithium. I'll hold it up. Why not? The lithium, this is like a 5.5, 6 hour. I find that to be ideal because it's a good size and it's lightweight. They also make a lithium, it's something like an 11 hour, but it's heavy. It's 20 ounces, which is quite an increment onto the weight of the detector. I mean, I suppose it's less in the water, but yeah, they do make some accessory batteries,
Yeah, I thought the detector, this was I think 3 years ago, we had it down on Treasure Island, and I thought the detector was pretty well balanced at that time. And I think they had a small coil on it, which I did like. But then again, the battery was not, a real long battery.
Is that you?
And Tom Becker wants to know, how heavy is the Impulse AQ?
I'm not sure. I'll have to. I can weigh it up while I'm here. While you're here.
I mean,
Sorry, I didn't
what's your
bring my
best
manual
guess?
upstairs. I would be
Comparative.
able to look it up, but
Is it as heavy as your other detectors, your Excalibur, or is it more or less
It's a little bit lighter, I think.
than the Excalibur? Okay.
certainly heavier than something like an Equinox or a Manticore, But it's well balanced, as Jeff said. It's a manageable detector, both on the land and in the water too.
Okay.
There's
And
a lot
the-
of things I like about this machine, particularly the performance.
Well, you've used the other PIs.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's extremely deep.
Yeah, and the real benefit of a pulse is not even the raw depth, but it's the signal to noise. It's where it will get that depth, in what kinds of conditions, fast salt water, changing environments, black sand, and to have any kind of discrimination on a machine that does that is a huge it's an exponential plus. It's a huge plus. It's I've done well with it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
Are-
he's doing very well. Yep.
Are you able to switch from all metal to discriminate mode and tell if the target is good or not?
I hunt in all metal all the time.
Okay.
You're not going to make a remote switch on that, Joe?
No, I do have it on my battery.
He's working on it as we
Audio
speak.
off.
I know about them old remote pinpoint switches you make. They're good.
Oh yeah, on the Excalibur. Yeah, I wish I could do
Yeah.
that with the
Specialty of the house.
And then-
I would say add to that understanding your signal types, like wide versus narrow, the kind of skills that you learn on a VLF to determine, they call it discriminating in all metal. When you can do that, you're much better able to use the all metal, the deeper all metal circuit on the AQ, and still have a pretty good idea of what's what. But the discriminate circuit is there if you want it, but it's not as deep. So when you check something, when you hear a faint target in all metal and you go to check it in discriminate and there's nothing there, you're probably best off to dig anyway.
Yeah, that was the case with the Excalibur.
The shallower ones.
That's the case with the Excalibur as well. Because Joe, I think you and I hunted the same way with the Excalibur in pinpoint mode.
Yes.
Metal pinpoint, and sometimes you just get a blank,
Yep.
where it nulls out, and you don't get nothing in discriminate.
Yep.
So
Well,
you dig them, and you dig up some old gold that way. I mean, at least it did for me.
You know who got me started on all metal? This guy right here, Clive.
Well, I learned from a guy named B.B. Saylor. That's going
Yes,
back a
yeah.
bit. Yeah,
Fine
he
ball.
taught
Yeah.
to use the watt and the software.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, my finds just took off when I learned a few things from that guy. But anyway, my point is that you have to know the tolerances to know when something is deep enough that there's no way you're going to hear it in all metal. Same as with the Excalibur and the Sovereign,
Yeah.
So it is a big plus having the discriminate circuit, and some people work exclusively in that, especially in a high trash area, But what I find is that when you can hear, just as B.B. Saylor taught me, when you can hear the sides of your target when they come in clean and it's a narrower response, you're light years ahead in telling what your targets are in either mode. It's basically knowing your signal types, because when something is iron, it's more blended with the ground, so you're going to get a wider response. It's the same as VLF skills, but all those skills that we learn in using VLF machines, like they make this detector just they increase its power, because you've got the pulse signal to noise, and you've got discriminate too. Even in the all metal, you can hear what's what when you like the hairpins are probably the hardest, Joe? But you learn those after a couple of years too. I know it sounds like a long time, but at a certain point, you learn to listen for the peaked responses. The peaked narrow responses.
Well, that's like that with any detector, even with the Deus too. You learn that certain targets, even though it comes up as a fairly clean signal, you can always tell if it's like a hairpin or whatever, because it's got that little to it. So, and the same thing with the Excalibur. It was like that, And like you say, Clive, it's all learning the machine.
That's what made it easy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what made it easy for me to jump from the Excalibur and all metal to the AQ. It's so easy to adapt because, like Clive said, you can size up the targets with the coil control and everything. And, and the AQ is the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And if getting back to the weight of the detector, Dave Anderson said, I've used a Fisher Impulse for 10 years. Does it weigh more than that? And I would think if he uses the stock shaft with that impulse at his wrist, it probably doesn't. But, you can see by looking at the detector, it can't weigh that much.
No, it doesn't weigh that much. The CZ21 weighs more than a Fisher AQ.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. So the CZ21 and the Fisher Impulse are probably about the same weight because they were in the same box.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it must be a lot less. All righty. So for finding deep coins, do you think it's deeper than your Excaliburs?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, no problem at all. I tell you, it's just amazing how deep it is.
Okay.
Deeper than you want to dig sometimes, huh?
Very deep on the nickels. I don't think it's really tuned for silver coins.
Right. Yeah.
It's a mid-range. I mean, that's what it's going to call optimization, in that it's tuned for a very narrow range of target. So it does get coins, but it gets mid-range coins.
Yep. It loves gold.
Cool.
Certainly, yeah. The only detector that I've ever used with better optimization than the Impulse is Jimmy Pugh's CUDA. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but that's also a very well designed machine for its gold optimization. It's like the cleanest signal you hear is gold.
Yeah.
Yep. And they only come with the 8. They come with the 8-inch, right?
The CUDA.
Yeah.
No, he made 2 coils for it. He made 2.
Oh, he did. Okay. I only ever seen an 8.
Yeah. Made a 12. Yeah.
So Randy Goodnow wants to know: do you use this AQ in thick, heavy iron?
Whereabouts?
In thick, heavy iron.
No, you cannot. That's the thing. I use my AQ only. I have about 8 beaches I hunt, and I can only use it at maybe 3 of them because of the iron.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it does what it does good, but it has to be in the right location.
Well, that would be true with any pulse induction detector. In heavy iron, it's going to drive you insane because it's going to pick up absolutely everything because there's no discrimination out on it.
Actually, it will block out iron about of half a dollar size, but anything bigger. I have a friend in Virginia Beach and my friend Mike up in Baltimore County. They hunt and discriminate on fresh drop beaches, and it will skip a lot of things. It'll skip all the clad coins, and it skips to some of the larger iron, about that big, but anything bigger will pick it up. But they do pretty good, because there's so many coins at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And Carolina does really good with his gold like that.
And I would add to that in the AQ literature, what's mentioned is ZTS. So, you know how they are with these 3-letter things, right? But what it stands for zero target separation. And what they're saying is that if you tune it properly, it will actually ignore iron and find gold right through the iron. Now, I think with a lot of these machines that have extreme target separation, it's kind of a ratio, so that when the gold gets smaller, and just as Joe said, when the iron gets bigger, you lose that power. But it will do it, and I think the small coil is exceptionally good for that. In that, that's part of the optimization. Is that, they used to have those little things in the tube. What were they called? A phase iron eliminator, a little tube that was treated some way. And I think that the AQ does that to a certain extent, but you have to really have some pulse skills to be able to, to listen for the narrow tones, as we mentioned, to listen for complete sounds, because the iron will give partial signals, and the iron will also give abrupt sounds. You've probably noticed this too, Joe, is when you get some iron, it'll have like a sharp cutoff, a sharp attack delay, right?
Yep.
It'll cut off sharply. And VLFs do this too. You get that too good to be true sound on your signals, And so, yeah, you can. I'm learning this detector just like everybody else, but that's one thing that I'm working on, is to be able to use it in dense iron, and I think it will do the job, but it's in the hands of the operator's skill set. It's not the. I always used to say, the TDI was the hardest detector I've ever learned. Well, the AQ is not an easy detector to learn either, because there's a lot of nuance to it,
How about
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
Joe, you have in the background there, have you got the AQ you can show people what it looks like? Because a lot of these people have never seen one.
Yes, I got a couple of them here.
And I have a question on the waterproof function of it. I think on the Fisher side, don't they say it's just 3 feet? Have you guys taken it deeper than?
But
Oh, yes.
Have you guys taken it
now
deeper?
Mine have my own batteries, the ones I make.
You saw the stock one here.
Yes.
3 feet is not very
There you
deep. And I kind of wonder what the weak point of it is, because I use like a sealant around the what's called coax seal around the coil jack, and also I use rubberized tape here. Can you guys see that? Around the M12 battery and headphone connectors. So you could probably take it deeper like that, but you certainly can't dive with it. So I don't see why you'd be really wanting to go deeper than I think it's really. Is it actually 3 feet, or is it being improved on the newer model, Joe?
It's still the same. Yeah,
3 feet, eh? Yeah. Well, that's it. It's a wading machine. It's certainly not a diving machine,
Yeah, we have 99% of the people, unless you're like Phil, he get out there. If he gets neck deep, the detector's probably going to be 6 feet under the surface.
True.
But
Yes.
for somebody like me,
That's not true.
it's only going to be about 1.5 feet if I'm up to my chin.
Yeah, that's me.
You need like a Dave Richards tall model.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
even with me, the detector, the housing of the detector is only going to be under a couple feet if you're up to your neck. So, yeah, we had the question, is the detector submersible saltwater machine? Yes, it is,
Yep.
but it's not a dive unit. So they're limited to you to 3 feet. So, the average person isn't going to go that deep. That was Luis Villarreal was asking that. So I think we cleared that up. Hopefully, with the longer life batteries, people are going to like that detector more. Because
it's got a few issues, but I think they just need to work them out and get it straight, because it is an excellent detector.
Yeah. And
Let's talk about the issues a little bit.
Battery is that although it's got a nice fancy little plate there, nowhere does it say what the wattage is. So when you try to take that through an airport, they pepper spray you and take you to the ground.
Well,
Oh,
they
I'm
would.
kidding. I'm
Clive,
kidding. They
they
don't
would probably do
is
that
the
to
point,
you at
right?
any rate.
Sorry?
No matter what you had.
Yeah, that's true. I'm no stranger to airport danger, but the same. The point is, like, when you get a lithium cell drill, it's got all the information right on every cell. So that's one thing that I'd spoken to Tom Walsh about, just making that small change so that you can travel with them. But it's a great battery. It's got. I mean, if you have that and the stock 3-hour, you're all set for a day.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could just change it in mid-hunt because the battery you have lasts for how long?
If you're in noisy conditions like rough salt and struggling to tune it, it'd probably be about 5.5 hours. But ideally, like in nice calm conditions, you probably get 6 hours out of it. So it's a very nice little battery. It's a good size and weight too,
Yeah, only problem with that, you have to buy it.
You have
Right.
to buy it aftermarket. I know that's concerned a few friends of mine. They're saying that it should be stock now, and I certainly
It should. Yes. Yep.
And then there's a question, is the AQ updatable with a USB cable in the computer?
And that's from Tom Becker from Ohio.
Nope.
I'd say it doesn't need it. It's perfectly good as it is. It doesn't have so many features that you'd want to add more, like a Manticore or a Legend,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a special hunter to take full advantage of what it has to offer.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly. Well said.
I know people that have them and they're sitting in their closets.
Yeah,
So-
I would add to this, when you have a little bit of theory on the different signal types and pulse induction itself, and some basic skills like using the coil to size and shape your targets, and a little bit of correlation. And another good point in theory that Joe touched upon is that when a target is at a certain depth with a pulse induction machine, when you can hear a narrow target at a certain depth, it's almost bound to be non-ferrous, because iron doesn't carry to the surface as well as non-ferrous targets do. So some basic theory, some basic skills, and the power and the performance of this detector, it just it magnifies it.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys know what in Fisher's lineup. This is from Louis Villarreal. Does Fisher have a multi-impulse AQ? Well, the impulse AQ is not a multi-frequency detector. It's a pulse machine. Phil, do you know? I think they were working on one, but I don't think it's come out, has it?
Actually, the CZ21 is multi-frequency. It's 2 frequencies.
Exactly.
But, they've always said they're working on a multi-frequency, I guess, to compete with the Equinox series or the NACA series, but they don't have anything out yet.
That's what I would thought. So Tom Becker also wanted to know if they fix the bugs, how can an AQ owner fix it on their detector?
Well, the detector isn't the issue; it's the battery. Is that what
No, the detector has issues too. I mean, Clive's pretty good at the pots. Sometimes they have the pots, they go bad. And one of mine, if I touch it, it kind of jumps on, the audio jumps off and comes back on, So that's been the issue of a few. I mean, not every one of them. I've actually had mine for 4 and 5 years. I have 2 of them, and they're still perfect, but there has been issues with the pots.
Well, when the detector first came out, the threshold pot in particular, for some reason, they weren't tightening it enough. And I actually dealt with some of their bench techs over there on this exact issue, because 3 of mine went, and just the bother of sending the detector back and forth, and you have to pay duty and brokerage bringing it back. And it was a bit of an annoyance. And so the pot would go dead spot, or it would go anyway. The pot would go, and as far as I've seen, the last replacement that I've had was probably about a year ago, and it's been fine. So I think they fixed it. They felt stiffer when they came back, like there was less free play in the turn on the threshold. So I mean, I've always been wary of the Vishay pots because I've had them on other machines and they were failing. But I think that they've changed the installation to improve, to fix that. You know.
Okay, well, we do have a question. Randy Goodnow, he said, Russ was on the show about 2 years ago, promising the final version of the AQ would be out soon. So what happened to that guy? Well, Russ is still with Fisher. He was going to be on tonight, but he's out in the gold fields of Arizona testing another detector for Fisher. They're doing some tests on another detector. And yes, he did say it was going to be out soon. Well, soon is a relative term. The Impulse AQ has been out now for what, 6 months, I think, Phil?
Yeah, I
Something
don't
like
know.
that. It's somewhere along in there. So,
Yeah.
you know, it is out.
It's out.
They had some issues, and just like every other detector will have some issues, and they felt like they didn't want to release it to have to deal with all that kind of stuff. So now it's out. You've got two of the premier metal detectorists in the world using it, telling you it's a good machine. So, you know, I think it's here, and they're doing a good job.
Yeah, and Russ is still around because he sent me this for the door prize for
Yeah.
tonight, the pinpointer and a hat. So hopefully it's you know, with the battery issue and the other issues, hopefully they're all straightened out. And if you want to get one today, you can do it for sure.
Yeah.
Gotta have the need for a real deep detector to find gold really deep.
Well, I think we're all running into that, Phil.
Yes, finding a place to find it.
You were talking about the headphones earlier, guys. Let's cover the headphones
Yes.
with the Impulse AQ.
Well, let me say the first ones that came out, they experimented. They had different size of piezos, and I think the set they sell with the AQ now still has the 35 millimeter. But Clive, you showed me a set there that had the 65, but they have on the second version of AQ I tested. I pulled the headphones apart, and Alexander had found a bigger piezo. So these are excellent if they would put them in the new sets that they sell with the new AQ, you know. But and they're very loud. And somebody asked me the difference between Mylar speakers and the piezos. Well, the Mylars are excellent for machines like the Manicore or the Knox because they give a lot more detail in the audio. But the piezos are very poor sound quality, but they're one of the few that they can use for waterproofing the machine for, you know, the headphones and everything. So, but if they would put these 65 millimeters in the sets they're selling now, that would cover the issue. Like I said, Tony Eisenhower uses these in his upgraded set of headphones.
Interesting.
Upgraded for the AQ. Tony's making a set.
Yeah, well, no. For his headphones himself, he did
Sure,
use
just wondered. Yep.
millimeter, I think, but now he's upgraded and he sells that for a little bit more cash, I think. So, and they are the 65s. You can see, compare the 65 to the 50. You can tell there's a lot of difference.
Yeah. And we got a question from Dave Anderson. Where can you buy the AQ at now? I don't have it in stock here today, but if you want one, Russ sent me all the pricing and everything on that. So if you want one, just holler at me tomorrow at the shop and we'll see if we can get it taken care of. Easy enough.
Highly recommend.
Yep. Well, as far as the AQ, I talked to someone on that knew a little bit about what's going on backstage, and they said that there would not be a release, but he said that Alexander's working on a digital model.
Wow.
So I don't know if that's the reason for the holdup, but I had asked Alexander to come talk tonight with us, but he said he couldn't share what he knew, basically. So there could be something going on backstage. You know what? If you're waiting around, it could take 10 years. You know, it took this one long enough to get out. it could take a while for the new one to come out.
Yeah.
And what I'll say about this current model is that to this day, they continue to work on improvements. I mean, Tom did reach out to me about beta testing this battery, and I got this replacement set of phones for my set that the jack went bad on. And, they're vastly improved from the first set that I got. The cord has changed. So, I mean, that's not the actions of a company that's phasing out a detector. I mean, they are full steam ahead with this detector, and making improvements as they go, which I'm very impressed by myself,
Now, are people using that for gold prospecting too, or just beach hunting?
Just beach hunting, far as I know. I think they're working on a gold model for the, prospecting.
Yeah, that's what Russ told me, that they are working on strictly a gold model for the prospecting, and that's where he's at. It's why he's not here tonight. Is he's out
Right.
in the mountains testing that out, and they're researching that. So, like I said, if anybody needs, I had the phone number up there. I don't know what happened to it.
Well, we got another question. Phil Myers, can it ship to Europe? I cannot ship it to Europe. I'm sorry. You'll have to find a dealer over there. With most of the manufacturers, they only allow us to ship in the country we're in. So we can't help you with that.
First Texas also sells on eBay.
Yeah,
so you probably get worldwide shipping there.
Yeah, you probably could get that. Absolutely. That would be an easy way to get it to Europe for sure. And yes, if you got questions, if you're here in the States and want one, just holler at me tomorrow. I'll be in the shop here at 10:30 a.m. and we can get it taken care of for sure. And Jeff, are we going to do a drawing today?
Yeah, let me put it up there.
It looks like you're busy typing away. And that the door prize we're drawing for is this guy here. It's the Fisher. Do I have that straight? Yeah, I got that straight. And a Fisher hat. Russ had sent that, so we'll be doing that.
You have a question. Can you ship to Europe?
And we already took care of that. Cannot ship to Europe. Can't do it. But they can buy it on eBay and through First Texas, and it'll make it there.
Oh, that's good.
So put it in just like I've got it, and we'll do the drawing here in a little bit.
Impulse AQ.
Yep,
Hashtag Impulse AQ.
And the F-Pulse is a very good pinpointer, and who can't use a hat? So there you go.
Everybody needs a hat for sure. So, guys, you both said this one is heavily weighted towards gold jewelry and gold rings or whatnot. How deep is the deepest ring you've dug with it, if you could estimate?
I would say probably about 18 inches.
That's what I was going
In
to say.
fact, in fact, I sent Jeff a video of, I think, one of the ones that I dug at 18 inches, but not just deep, but actually I got a 1.7 gram gold ring at, I think it was 14 to 15 inches. So it doesn't let up with the size of the gold. It keeps on hammering. And actually, I did several tests, and the deepest I could get it to go on a gold ring was about 19 to 20 inches. Okay. And the problem is digging that deep. If you dig down to 16 and 17, that's deep. And then if you got to go to 18, it's a chore, because you got the sides collapsing in and everything.
Right. The water's caving the hole in. It's hard to get it out of something that deep for sure.
Yeah.
And if there's any current, it's moving your hiney around too.
Yeah.
If there are any waves or any current.
Yeah. Well, most of my hunting,
when you're this deep.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of my hunting is calm water. So
it's not just the depth on a big ring, it's the signal to noise. So you're getting better depth on smaller items, as Joe had mentioned, I mean, that's the real power a boost in signal to noise, is that you're not only getting that depth, but you're getting this. I'm looking for a way to illustrate it, but this narrower funnel on the size of targets that you can get at that depth. It's very impressive, actually, the small object power of this machine.
Well, we got a question from Luis Villarreal. Is First Texas Products still located in El Paso, Texas? I know they're in Texas, but I don't know where. Is it El Paso?
It is, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's an American-made company. Actually, Fisher is the oldest metal detector company in the USA, isn't it? I think they started in 1932.
One of the few left.
Yes. You got Fisher and Garrett, and I think that's it. U.S. manufacturers, for sure.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, so.
I think you are absolutely correct.
Now, you guys have used other pulse detectors, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
I know Clive has.
Yeah. I've used a Sea Hunter and the Garrett Infineon.
Okay, and your thoughts on this compared to those?
Oh, no comparison. The AQ's hands down.
How about you, Clive?
Well, I've run a TDI Pro, and the TDI Pro is extremely sensitive to the point that it doesn't tune at the bottom. It doesn't tune its strongest in salt water, especially fast salt water. So you have to turn it so far down that you're not getting its full power. So the AQ is better. It's better than the TDI Pro in salt water. And I also use a White's dual field, which is a very powerful pulse machine. And I mean, the general consensus is that the AQ is deeper than the dual field.
Okay.
Yes, it is deeper. Yeah, I had a dual field too. I ended up giving it away. I didn't like it.
Really? Yeah. Well, I talked to Bill Lar quite a bit, and he doesn't like how his own circuit wound up. Is it's too rough sounding. He likes a smooth detector, but it's still a very deep detector. And that crackle is it's reacting to the ground. It's a beautiful machine in salt water too. And I hate to say it, but the one drawback of the AQ is it doesn't like this super high carat gold, like big 22 carat, like say over about 10 or 11 grams. The dual field has no problem with that, or the chains, so the dual field is maybe a little bit more of an all-arounder, but it's not as deep.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Clive, have you written a book on it?
The AQ?
Yes.
Well, I've got my general information pulse book that's out of print now, but Pulse Power, I hate to say it, but I could write a book on the Fisher AQ in a minute. Well, it would take me longer than a minute, but nobody would buy it. So,
I don't think there's enough out there.
I don't have time to throw away on a project that nobody's going to be interested in. I've got a beautiful book on the Manticore. It sells pretty well, but it should still sell better. I've got a beautiful book on the Legend. Same thing. I have to be sparing with my time now. I noticed that my friend Andy Sabish, he didn't respond to writing a book about the Manticore, so I guess he's not writing anymore. So, case in point. Yeah, it's got to be, the industry has to support us. I hate to say it, right?
Oh, it does. Absolutely. So how many, here's Moose in New York. He's a question for Clive. I have 19 of your books.
Wow.
Good reading. Any new books coming out? That's what I was just asking.
Oh my goodness. Now you're making me feel bad. Let me think about that. I like this detector so much that I would certainly consider writing a book on it. That's a good question. It's about the next big thing. If I like the next big thing, I'm inspired to write, so ask the industry what's coming out, but thank you for your interest in my books. That's amazing.
You
So
still got 2 to go. I've got 27, so you got 8 to go.
8 to go. There you go.
I know
Hey,
Joe bought a bunch when he was getting started, and in the water. Wanting to learn a bit more about water hunting, he bought every single book I had at the time. Eh?
So how many people do you know swing the AQ? Is it?
I would say about 10.
That's
How about you, Clive? How many people do you know?
None. I thought Joe meant all together. There's not that many of them around. I suppose it's a good thing because it's our secret weapon, eh, Joe?
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, you know,
If
in
I
all
seen
fairness,
somebody hunting one of my, yeah, if I seen somebody hunting one of my spots with AQ, I would be worried.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah. I don't know anybody in Canada with one, and I think that's great because it's a powerhouse. Believe me.
Yep.
I went into
Well,
a place the last week that is
That's
just
why-
pounded by teams of guys with equinoxes, and bang, got a beautiful ring there. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
a full-on secret weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Clive,
Good.
Clive, talking about your books, we got a question from Andrew T. Does the Legend book cover the software version 1.17?
It certainly does. Available at clivesgoldpage.com.
There you go.
Ringless blood.
okay, and I was going to say, you know, as far as the number of people using the AQ, in all fairness, you know, it's just recently has been out for sale, as I understand it. There hasn't been a tremendous advertising campaign for the machine, and there's got to be people out there that really want this machine. And you guys say it is a great machine, so I say let's give it a little time. You're going to see more and more of them surface, especially as the fines go down.
Exactly.
You're going to have to find something that will go a little deeper. And, you know, it sounds like me like this is that machine because, like I said, we were at the beach for a week, 5 of us for 6-7 hours a day, and we didn't hardly find diddly. So maybe I should have had an Impulse AQ.
Look at Joe's finds. I mean, his recent stuff. He's getting the old gold that other VLF hunters, including himself, have been walking over. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the machine that does that. It's got the depth and it's got the the target ID that sort of it. You know, it's the first discriminating pulse. You know.
Yep. And it's the only one out there, really.
Pretty much. Well, the TDI has some of that capacity. You know, the TDI Pro has the sort of 2-range thing, but you don't see that. It would be great if they were still selling the TDI Pro. It's a shame Garrett didn't pick it up, you know, because that's an awesome circuit too. That actually, I believe that that the AQ is based on one of Eric Foster's circuits. You know, that's the general consensus. Yeah.
Now, how
Well,
about
let's go.
you? Go ahead, Jeff.
Now we're going to do, you ask the question, then we'll do the drawing.
Okay. How about Joe? When you're digging in the old gold areas, are you still finding the older silver coins there?
Oh
too,
yeah.
with the Impulse.
Yeah, I average about 10 silver coins a hunt.
That's pretty impressive for sure.
Yeah. Well, where I found silver is gold is there. You know, like I said, I'll go through my Excalibur and mark all the areas, and then I'll come back to AQ and go slow, and I crisscross. I go every which direction, and it's down there. I just got to find it.
All righty. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, here's another question. Let's get that out of the way.
Okay, from Andrew T. He says, Clive, did I detect the water at Woodbine Beach, Toronto? Oh, did you detect? I think I met you a few years ago.
I certainly do. It's right down the road.
Okay.
Don't let me catch you back.
Or no, you found everything with the AQ.
I wish. I wish there's guys at 5 o'clock in the morning there. So they're younger and stronger. What can I say?
Yeah. So let's do a drawing. Here we go. David Niswander, you are the winner of the F-Pulse and hat And what we need you to do, my friend, is I'm going to put this up here. That's where you send your name, address, and phone number to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com. Again, your name, address, and phone number. If you want to claim your prize, which is the Fisher F-Pulse pinpointer and a Fisher hat. treasuretalkshow@gmail.com, name, address, and phone number. The sooner you send it, the sooner we get it out to you. Congratulations, my friend.
And I think I know David, and I think he may end up
Congratulations.
coming in the shop and getting it. Hopefully, I won't have to mail it to him.
With that, I don't know. I don't know him.
So, congratulations, David, for sure.
Okay, take it away.
All righty. So, back
He
to
is coming into the store.
oh, Jocelyn said he is coming into the store. Sweet. I don't have to mail it. I'm getting lazy in my old age for sure. I'd rather go out and go detecting. So anyway, you guys are finding old coins. What is the best find you found with the AQ? Your best.
Mine's just been a big class ring.
Big
That's all.
class ring?
I think it was a 17 gram. Yeah.
And how old was it? Was it old gold also?
Oh, it was 18. I mean, it was 10K. It was 10K. All class rings were mostly 10K unless you get way back. And then they went to 14K around 1900s, early 1900s. So,
Okay. And what was the date on that one?
It's in that video. I think it's like a 1958 or something like that.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool when you find the old gold, for sure.
Yeah, I like the heavy old gold.
Oh yeah, the heavier the
Me
better.
too. That's right.
Yeah.
How about you, Clive? What's your best find with the AQ?
I can't say I've found any big rings with it. My big finds are generally chains, so I've never found a chain with it. But I got a beautiful 22K ring with a big emerald on it, like a 2-carat emerald. You know, a beautiful ring. You know, one of my first big finds with the AQ. You know, so I was quite happy with that, and I got an 11-gram band with it last week. You know, which was a big find in
Yes.
a very difficult environment. You know, full of trash. You know, and you know, I was able to hear it because hear the roundness of it. You know, just the nice audio of the detector. You know,
Now,
something that
Bob,
comes with
what
this.
coil was that? The 8-inch or
The full size coil, yeah, and that ring was about
the
18
full-size
inches
one.
down
Okay,
too.
yeah.
You know, it was a deep ring, and other people had been marching over there with the equinoxes every day for
Oh yeah,
reason,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So I was pretty happy to get that one. You know, It's like just as everyone's saying, it's getting harder, except for Joe. For the rest of us, it's getting harder.
Well, it takes time to find those old spots, so
He's
it's
finding more and more. We're all finding less and less, right?
yeah.
But yeah, so it's tough. But like I said, it's a secret weapon. You know, I'm very
Oh.
glad to have something that gives me a little bit of an edge in some of these places. You know.
Is it too late?
Well, this question here, this is let's look at the question and then let's talk about this, because you see all the time people doing air tests and judging machines by air tests. So
I just put it
Yeah.
up there.
there it is finally.
Yeah.
Did you delete it?
I put it up and I took it down and Jocelyn put it up. And anyway, from Tom Triptree, I was going to ask a talk about this. He says, I'm late to the party. I forgot tonight's show. Mine only gets 12 to 13 inches on an air test on a nickel. So it sits on the shelf. Is Fisher still fixing the machines? But
Actually, I get 16 on an air test, but you know what? It's not the kind of signal that jumps out at you. You have to be able to hear the changes and the threshold and everything. Like I said, it takes a special hunter to use a PI to take full advantage of what they offer. You know.
And I'm just taking that question off. I saw your video, Joe, where you had it on the beach and you were hitting a nickel at I think it was 19 inches.
18 and 19 inches. Yep.
Yes. And you could clearly.
That once you get around salt water, it goes deeper. It does.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what Bill Lar always says to me, is that a pulse will go deeper in the water. You know, it's like the environment boosts the signal. The salt boosts the signal.
I would think it's just the moisture of the water making it go deeper. Is that correct? The salt.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Both. Just the conductivity makes the signal travel better, you know?
Well, I noticed with VLF detectors, today's detectors, if you're hunting after heavy rain, on land, it seems like the targets are deeper.
It does. Yep.
So I always thought it was just the moisture at the beach making the target. But
it's a little bit of everything, the salt and the water itself,
Yeah. So,
but air tests are very important too, because it could be his headphones having an issue with his headphones.
Yeah. Yeah. I always tell people to air test their detectors if they're thinking they're not getting decent depth, and they should still get. I mean, it'll be deeper in the ground, but they should still get some pretty consistent results air testing it.
Yeah.
Certainly good for comparing and practicing, identifying targets. But as far as an accurate representation of a detector's depth, I don't think that it's a good way to go about it.
Right. It's not. Yep.
Yeah, we do it in the store all the time, showing customers, well, look, it'll hit this quarter at 12 inches here in the air. But I know a lot of times I tell them it's probably going to go deeper if there's moisture or in the ground. It just seems it does to me.
Also, it makes a difference if you're an all metal or discriminate too, because in discriminate you're going through a filter and it's going to give you less depth.
Right. So maybe
all metal, it's going to hit deeper.
Absolutely, because no discrimination's slowing the detector down. Well, guys, looks like our hour left us.
Yep, it sure did. That was fun. Thank you.
Yes, thanks for coming on here, Joe, and thanks, Clive.
Thank you, Clive, for coming on, buddy.
Yeah, coming on.
You're welcome, Joe.
You're
asking me, guys.
For sure.
Great to see everyone.
And thank
you.
So,
what are the final thoughts on the Impulse AQ? Clive, go.
If you're a serious hunter and you're prepared to learn some pulse induction skills, and you have some basic skills rather than just thinking you're going to use a pulse to dig everything with, which is probably going to be pretty frustrating. If you're a serious hunter, it's the perfect machine for you. You like
Joe?
It's the way to go. Yeah.
What's your final thoughts, Joe?
If you live in Maryland, don't buy it.
That's perfect.
That's spear gun on the wall behind you there.
It's a great machine. They just need to iron out a few things.
A few bugs, little bugs, yeah.
All righty, guys. Well, thank you. Thank you, Joe and Clive and Jeff and Jocelyn and all of our many members on here. Thanks for showing up and learning from these two guys, for sure.
Thank you for the invite, guys. Thank you, Clive. Jeff, Phil.
Jeff, I'll let you send us out.
All righty, guys. Thanks for helping us out with the Impulse AQ. I think, like you guys said, it's a good detector. They just got a few little bugs to work out, and that's what they got you guys for. And I agree with you, Clive and Joe. If you're a serious hunter and can put up with digging all the holes, that's the one that you need to have. So we want to thank you for stopping by tonight and offering your expertise. Next week is the monthly Florida digging report. So we'll be here next week with the Worldwide Treasure Talk digging report. So everybody, thanks for watching. Happy hunting and dig deeper, and may all your finds be 14 karat and above. Good night, everybody.
See you guys.